Welcome back, one and all, to the F1 2015 Pro Season Series here on BoxBoxBoxGaming. My name is Justin, and today we'll finally be taking part in the much-delayed Monaco Grand Prix. Before we jump into the video, I just wanted to explain, for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, @FakeGhostPirate, I had problems with my air conditioning recently, and in this part of Texas, during this part of the year, in August, what was August, it gets extremely hot, and there is no way I was going to do 78 laps of Monaco when it's 35 degrees Celsius in my bedroom. No, thank you very much. But let's jump into the video here. We're having a look at the driver's standings. Just a refresher for those of you who maybe missed the last race or the qualifying session for Monaco. We have 32 points right now. We are tied with our teammate Kimi Räikkönen as we're heading into the 6th race of the season. Nico Rosberg leading Lewis Hamilton 118 to 91. Very close between Vettel and Bottas right now, 57 to 54. And Daniel Ricciardo and Felipe Massa currently tied for 5th position, with Ricciardo being ahead, I assume because of a higher finishing position, but they're tied with 49 points apiece. Moving on now to the constructors' standings. Mercedes, of course, leading right now with 209 points. Scuderia Ferrari in a pretty lonely 4th position right now. We are 39 points behind Williams and 50 points ahead of McLaren right now, so it's pretty lonely for Scuderia Ferrari at the moment, but we are looking to claw ourselves back up and into contention for that 2nd place. Of course, Mercedes are looking like they are completely untouchable, but Red Bull Racing and Williams still definitely targetable by the prancing horses, as we are only 5 races into the season so far.
Welcome to one of the most iconic race circuits on the Formula One calendar. It's Monaco, the playground of the rich and famous. After yesterday's qualifying session, it's Nico Rosberg who's put himself in the driving seat for the race, securing pole position with a thumping lap when it mattered.
He was driving on another level yesterday, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he just pulls away from the field and is untouchable. But as we know, anything can happen in Formula One, so we'll just have to wait and see.
It was an excellent showing from the Red Bull team at the last race. They'll be hoping for a similar level of performance here again today.
I think they can have another good race here today. No reason why not. They definitely have the performance in the car. It's just a matter of getting the strategy right and giving both of their drivers the best shot at claiming good points.
So there was the confirmation of the grid for those who missed qualifying. I had a 5-second penalty, or 5-place grid penalty that I accumulated at some point during the free practice sessions. It was very difficult in the practice sessions to stay away from the AI drivers, and I kept making contact with them, and I kept checking to make sure that I wasn't receiving any penalties, and I didn't show any, so I didn't bother restarting this whatever session it was that gave me that 5-second penalty. But that's my mistake, and you know that's how it goes. You know, it's a video game, so I was gonna restart it just to avoid the 5-place grid penalty, especially because it's Monaco, and especially because it was the AI's fault that that they ran into me in the free practice session in the first place. So I was not going to take that penalty if I could avoid it. But so here we are on 7th place on the grid as we're preparing for the race. Up into Rich Mix straight away, engine revving on the grid. I'm trying to get it in the red, but not quite the blue, as we are away and racing in Monaco for one of the most difficult and most challenging races of the entire year. And we've already dove up the inside of one of the Toro Rossos. I believe that's Jean-Eric Vergne, and we're all over the back of Kevin Magnussen now. We can tell because of the T-cam on top of his car, as we're actually having a look on the inside there just in case if Kevin Magnussen is moving very slowly through Casino there. Want to possibly try and grab some positions up here as we head down the hill, and we dive on the inside of Kevin Magnussen, grabbing the inside lane on that downhill right-hander, inside line, excuse me, and heading into the Lowe's hairpin now. And we are right behind our teammate Kimi Räikkönen, who did start this race in 4th or 3rd position, I can't remember, but he has lost a position. He's down. Yeah, he did start in 3rd. He's down a position, though. Jensen Button up into 3rd on the opening lap of this race. I believe he did that into Sainte-Devote as we come out of the tunnel and into the Nouvelle chicane and going down into 2nd gear team radio.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed.
So there was an incident of some kind behind me. I don't know if that was my fault or not. I think it actually involved Kevin Magnussen when I made that overtake on him, but I believe it was contact he made with another car after that incident when I forced him to go side by side and took that position that left him vulnerable, and I think another driver tried to go side by side with him, and things did not end well for Kevin Magnussen.
You have a 1-second lead over the car.
Yeah, and we can see that Toro Rosso in the mirrors if you're looking closely and watching in 1080p on a larger size screen. You should be able to see that Toro Rosso in the mirrors, and it is getting smaller actually. And Casino here is one of the places on this circuit where I really found that I was quite a bit faster than the AI. This is not a strong circuit for me whatsoever. Let me go ahead and get that out. Just for those who may have missed the qualifying video, Team Radio.
Fuel load is 90 kilograms. Repeat, 90 kilos of fuel on board.
Yes, Jeff, thank you so much. So somehow I've used 10 kilos already. I'm not sure if the game actually starts you with 100 kilos though. That's what I'm starting to think, is that you don't actually start with a full tank of fuel, but you also can't change how much fuel you start the race with either. There's no way to make any sort of adjustment to that. As I'm just now making the adjustment here at Monaco, I do prefer a forward bias on the brakes. I found it to be a lot better. I found a little bit of rear locking now and again, and I would much prefer to deal with front locking than rear locking. And even having a little bit of rear locking is too much rear locking for me. So I am using front bias on the brakes for 100% of this race. And once again, I'd like to bring your attention to the Toro Rosso in the mirrors.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
DRS is available.
You're increasing your lead over Verne by 0.5 a lap.
There we go. And that is confirmation of what we were kind of already expecting there. It seemed like we were really pulling away. Yeah, I didn't mean to actually change that there, which is weird. When you bring up that menu, to change your front wing angle, you have to press left on the D-pad, and I never press left on the D-pad, so I have no idea what I heard that confirmation message, and I went, wait, I changed my wing angle, and I wasn't sure exactly what change I made, but I was like, whatever. This is Monaco. I'm not very good at Monaco. I just want to get this over with. I was just happy to have my AC working at this point, really. So, I was in a pretty good mood. I did a little bit of practice because it had been a while since I drove Monaco, of course. As a result of that very long delay, I was pretty rusty. So I did a little practice before the race, and I was feeling pretty good. And I did like basically a practice race because I wanted to get a feel for the start with the car for the launch. On the opening lap and what the AI was going to be like. Team Radio.
Right, bear in mind we're fully laden with enough fuel to get us through this race. The car might feel a bit heavy to begin with. You might want to consider switching to a lower fuel mix.
Oh, right.
You may not finish on the current settings.
Yeah, I forgot while I was driving, and once again, I forgot right there. I was on rich mix that entire time for the first 3 laps and running in the dirty air, so I assume my engine right now is basically on fire as, oh gosh, I've gotten some oversteer there coming out of Casino and made some contact with the barrier. Jeff not saying anything about front wing damage, maybe some side pod damage, but I don't think that actually has any sort of effect on your speed in F1 2015. So yeah, as we skip ahead now to lap number 10, getting a lot of oversteer there coming out of Portier. I think that's Portier. I didn't bring up a track map. I should do that actually right now. But got a little bit of oversteer there, and you can see I've lost a lot of time to my teammate Kimi Räikkönen. He is pulling away quite a bit at this point, but the swimming pool section is actually one of the places. Oh, as I make contact with the barrier once again, so that's now my second contact with the barrier in only 10 laps. Not even 10 laps completed yet, so not looking so good. Again, I want to remind you guys, this is by far my least favorite track to drive in Codemasters games. It's one of those things where I feel like I could really enjoy myself if I was driving Monaco, the streets of Monaco in real life.
Within 1 second of the car ahead, get ready to use DRS to overtake.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to overtake Kimi with DRS at Monaco while he also has DRS. And look at that. I have completely messed up Sandoval, an absolute treat there, and Kimi has pulled away pretty massively. Through Casino, though, I do gain a little bit of time on the cars up ahead of me, so I'm feeling pretty good. And then once again, under braking for, I believe this is Massenet. I'm bringing up track map right now. I'm probably getting the... No, that's Mirabeau, my mistake.
Green flag, we're racing again.
So, lap number 12 now, and we've got yellow flags.
Yellow flag ahead.
As Jeff is telling us exactly that. And there's a nice little train of cars here. It looks like a Williams. That's Felipe Massa, if I'm not mistaken. And also...
That move was illegal. Return the position.
Oh, gosh, I made an illegal overtake under yellow flags. I thought I was passing cars that were involved in an incident, but apparently I was just passing cars as I've let the Williams back through. because I assumed that was the one. And it looks like that Force India that had the puncture has actually made contact with the McLaren behind us. So we've gained a position out of all of that chaos that just went on there in between Casino and Mirabeau. So we're up into 4th position now. But we've lost out. We've gone very deep at the Nouvelle chicane, and we lost quite a bit of time there, having to sort of corner cut to compensate for the fact that I ran off the circuit through to back now into the swimming pool section. By far the best part of this circuit, if you ask me. Down into 2nd gear, taking lots of that inside curve, being very aggressive. These are the super soft tires, of course. It is a one-stop race. We're going to be looking to stop around lap 30 to 40 in that sort of range, depending on how things go, as we skip ahead now towards the second half of lap number 13, and coming out of the tunnel now and down the hill into the Nouvelle chicane now. And I have brought up a track map, so now I won't make any more mistakes. I did get Portier right though. So here we are accelerating towards to back, dropping it down into 4th gear. And getting pretty close to the barrier there and taking lots of curb. Oh, and we made contact with the barrier. That's in the swimming pool section. We've been spun around, and Jeff is telling us there's lots of damage, of course, to the car as well. No surprise there. Oh, and there's been contact with a Mercedes. That's Lewis Hamilton that's run into us, and we have been given a 5-second time penalty as a result of that contact, and they have deemed that was my fault, my responsibility there, and I don't think I can disagree with that.
The rear right tire has a puncture.
Rear right is punctured as Felipe Massa goes by us, and we're going to have to dive into the pits. We really have no choice here. It's a very early pit stop here on lap number 13, which would mean I would have to do 65 laps on a set of the soft tires. 65 laps on a set of softs as I get a new wing. I believe I got the 5-second time penalty there, or no, that's going to be added at the end of the race, is the 5-second time penalty. So honestly, I would have preferred to just serve it in the pits. I wish that was an option.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
So I haven't driven the soft tire really. If I remember correctly, I believe it's about a 1-second difference.
Kimmy's pitting this lap for new tires. He's picked up a puncture.
Oh no, so Kimmy as well has picked up a puncture in all that craziness.
Rosberg's out in front.
You know, I don't know what happened to Kimmy there, as the tires are quite cold there, so we're getting quite a bit of oversteer there coming out of Casino, heading into Mirabeau and then into the Lowe's hairpin. And we're down into, I believe my steering wheel said P10. Yeah, P10. So we're still in a points position here. And we're essentially on the same pit strategy now as everyone else. So we are probably going to have to stop again.
The car ahead of you has just fitted the option tires. Car ahead, now on the options.
And we actually just gained a position as we were going through the tunnel.
It's bad news for Kimmy. He's suffered a tire blowout.
And didn't they already say that? I think they already said that. Yellow flag.
Car behind is on standard revs. Car behind is running standard
And that is
revs.
Kimi Räikkönen going very slowly, so he's got that tire blowout. I didn't go down to 2nd gear there as I wanted to.
Williams are prepping to receive one of their cars. Their crew are out in the pit lane.
And there's a Force India going into the pits as well right in front of us, so it looks like we're going to gain some more positions.
Heading into the pits, he's suffered a blowout.
So more tire blowouts there. We're up into P6. So we gained a position quite mysteriously in the tunnel as we were coming out of the tunnel. So somebody must have just retired from the race who was ahead of us. And then a couple of cars headed into the pits. I believe it was Williams and then Hulkenberg, which gave us 2 more positions. And then I don't know who the 3rd position came from, because we went from P10 to P6, so we gained 4 positions. 2 of them were cars in the pits. One was a car mysteriously retiring. I don't know who the 3rd one was, but team radio.
Running out to lead over Chilton. He's lapping a second slower than you.
So Jeff is giving me gap times to Chilton, so I could. Oh, as I've made contact there with the barrier at the inside of Casino.
Just managed the gap to the car behind. We think he's got a time penalty.
So supposedly the car behind is Max Chilton, and supposedly he has a time penalty as well. So Chilton riding around in P7 with the time penalty at the moment. There's at least a couple cars that are out of this race, as because we.
Remember, you can move the brake balance to the rear. This may stop your front tires from locking.
No. I'm not playing that game, Jeff. So again, we're in P6 at the moment right now. And we're once again heading down the hill, down towards Mirabeau. And I also like Mirabeau, actually. It's one of the corners I like here.
Out to lead over Chilton. He's lapping a second slower than you.
Yeah, I get it. I'm pulling out a lead over Chilton. And now going down towards 48.
70 kilograms of fuel remaining. That's 70 kilograms.
And we're in P5 now. So once again, we have gained yet another mysterious position.
Kvyat has just made a pass into first place.
And now, so we can kind of use problem-solving skills there. Ooh, that's a big corner cut there. I didn't mean to do that. We could sort of use problem-solving skills to figure out what happened there. We went from P6 to P5 very suddenly, and now also, all of a sudden, Kvyat is leading the race. And who was leading the race was Nico Rosberg. So I believe Nico Rosberg has just retired from the Monaco Grand Prix. As we skip ahead now to lap number 30, we are still in P5. We have been catching up to a Williams. I am not certain which Williams this is. I believe it's Massa, I believe, who actually started in P15, I should mention. Felipe Massa started in P15.
You're closing Massa. See if you can get through.
But unfortunately, there's a back marker between us. There is a Caterham, and then there's a car ahead of Felipe that is a Lotus. I'm not sure which Lotus driver that is, or if they're a lap down. I don't know if these blue flags we're seeing are exclusively for the Caterham, or if they're for the Caterham and the Lotus. I'm not sure of the circumstances. I know for at least one of them is a lap down, and I assume that one at the minimum would be the Caterham. So I believe the Caterham is going to have to let me through here as he makes contact with the barrier coming out of the Nouvelle chicane. And you can see I brake very early for Tabak because I was like, you know, this guy is acting very strange. I have no idea what he's going to do. And in an effort to try and let me through, it looks like he just ran straight into a wall. That has let me through, though, and I am pretty close to Felipe Massa here, so possibly could be looking at a DRS overtake, but he's going to be getting DRS off of this Lotus.
28-second gap to the car behind.
So it's 28 seconds to the car behind, so the good news is it's looking good for me to get P5, because I think I have a pit stop in hand. Of course, I do have a 5-second time penalty. Time penalty that we have to take into account as well. So hopefully that won't be determining my race position, but 28 seconds is quite a large gap as we're attacking Felipe Massa here. Under braking, we've got the inside line, but unfortunately that means he's going to have the inside line now for the Lowe's hairpin. Can we stick around the outside? No, we can't. We're just too far back. It's very difficult to go around the outside there. You really have to be ahead of the car as you're side-by-side. You sort of have to have the advantage heading into the corner if you're going to go around the outside at Lowe's hairpin. So with that inside line, he just was so much quicker and was able to stay ahead pretty easily. But here we are just one lap later attacking Felipe Massa once again as we have not seen any blue flags since we got away from that Caterham. So that Lotus is in track position as once again we dive up the inside on Felipe Massa. There at Mirabeau, and we're going to try once again around the outside. We do have the track position this time. We're fighting back at him, and he's just shutting the door on us. What are you doing, Felipe? What are you doing? You absolute idiot. I mean, he definitely could have given me room at the outside of that corner, and now we have another 5-second time penalty here on lap number 32 of the Monaco Grand Prix, and I completely disagree with that one. The first one, yes, that's my fault. So once again, we've gained a position up into P4, but we've lost tons of time. So every time we gain a position, we just lose more time to the cars ahead of us, and I completely fault Felipe Massa at that one. I really think he could have given me room at the outside of that corner. I was alongside. All the time, you have to leave a space!
Fernando should be due a tyre change within a couple of laps.
I'm channeling my inner Fernando right now, and all the time, Felipe did not leave me the space. So skipping ahead now once again to lap number 34, again running in P4, now with 10 seconds of worth of penalties that's going to be added onto our race. We got almost as many penalties as McLaren Honda at Monza, LOL JK. But we're, again, running in 4th position. We started in 7th. We should have qualified in 2nd, so this is a true roller coaster of emotions right now. We still have to stop again, but last we checked, there was a huge gap to the car behind. And now we're running in 3rd, mysteriously. As we come out of the swimming pool section, another car has retired in front of us, and that has promoted us into a podium position. The roller coaster of emotion continues. It's unbelievable. This race is just so crazy. I mean, just to put things into perspective for how crazy this race is, Daniil Kvyat is leading in a Toro Rosso. I think that says more than anything else. that message right there. As we are approaching halfway.
Maldonado has just turned into the pits.
So Maldonado is into the pits, which means we are now up into P2, but we are going to need to pit again, likely. Going to need to pit again, because again we stopped at the end of lap 13, I believe it was, which would mean we have to do 65 laps. As we've got a yellow flag up ahead and a car moving very slowly. I couldn't even tell who that was.
We're racing again.
Honestly, I have no idea who that was. I would probably need to pause the video and really scrutinize it to see exactly who it was. But we got some body work there coming out of the exit of the Nouvelle Chicane. Yellow flags again for the second time in this lap as we're going through the fastest corner on the circuit to back. And you can hear me lift off at the exit. And Jeff is telling me to pit this lap, but you know what? This is the leader. That is Daniil Kvyat right in front of us. And also right in front of us, it looks like there are a couple of Saubers and a Force India going very slowly and or going into the pits.
Will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out. We can work on a fix remotely.
Oh, good. I mean, what else could possibly go wrong here? So, and there's some more body work at the exit of Saint-Devote.
Have a go if you can.
Yeah, I am gonna have a go if I can. Can you fix my DRS? Then maybe I can have a go, Jeff.
India Cars is about to stop by the looks of it. Their pit crew are getting ready.
I'm pretty sure that Force India pitted about 30 seconds ago, Jeff, so thank you for that super old information. That's very useful, especially because all the Force Indias are behind me.
Maldonado lost 5/10 to you last lap. He's dropping behind.
So Maldonado's on fresh tires, and he's still losing half a second a lap to me. I am running very close to Daniil Kvyat. I'm on extremely old tires right now, though. These are 41-lap old soft tires, and I put them on probably with about 80 kilos of fuel in the car still as we're heading into the Nouvelle Chicane. That was a bit of a quarter cut there. Oh, and oh no, that's an absolute tragedy right there as we get some wheel spin coming out of the Nouvelle Chicane. I was too aggressive over the curbs.
Okay, fitting options on your next stop.
So we are going to be putting on a set of the super soft tires. So we've lost out probably on 10-15 seconds worth of time, but we were probably going to have to make this pit stop anyway. I just really wanted to see if I could get by Kvyat, because I don't think Kvyat is stopping again, and I really wanted to try and get the win. Even if I got by Kvyat, though, I would have needed to pull a 10-second gap to him, and I really don't see that happening. So unfortunately, I do believe we are out of contention for the race win here, as again, the roller coaster of emotions that is the 2014 Monaco Grand Prix continues to throw us for a ride here. We're back out on track now with a brand new set of super soft tires and a brand new front wing as the Caterham goes into the pits in front. Why does it Caterham? Caterham. The Caterham goes into the pits ahead of us. We got a car just behind us. It's the Caterham.
We want to finish the race on this compound.
So we are still in third position, actually. So we're still in a podium position. We got 10 seconds worth of time penalty. Right behind us, there's a Red Bull that just got by that Caterham that was coming out of the pits behind me. So that would have been a nice little buffer if that Caterham had been in front of this Red Bull. I'm not sure if that's Daniel Ricciardo or Sebastian Vettel at this point, of course. I really don't know, as the cold tires are making me vulnerable as we head into Mirabeau. Mirabeau is one of those ones, I can never remember the name of it. But I can tell you that is Daniel Ricciardo that is right behind us. I have the benefit of hindsight, of course. That is Daniel Ricciardo right behind us. I'm not sure what tire compound he is on, so and I don't know how long he's been on that tire compound, so really I have no idea what my pace is like in comparison to his. But again, remember, I have a 10-second time penalty, so I need to pull out a 10-second gap on this Red Bull behind me of Daniel Ricciardo if I want any hope of finishing on the podium here.
Closing in on Maldonado by around 1.
And there goes Daniel Ricciardo right around our outside at turn 1. And he runs very deep, nearly slamming into the barrier, which allows us to take the position straight back with the inside line and with much better exit speed coming out of Saint-Devote. But as Jeff is yapping in our ear, giving us useless information, of course, while we're in the middle of a dogfight with the Honey Badger himself, we take the move back, the position back, and then we run very deep into Lowe's hairpin, making contact with Daniel Ricciardo. He slams into the back of our car. Thankfully, no damage done to either car, I don't think, as very nicely there through Portier.
There's 30 kilos left. We have 30 kilos of
and 30 kilos, if we started with 100, would be about 23.4 laps, I believe, and there is not even close to that many laps remaining. So here we are, skipping ahead once again to lap number 63, and we've come up to traffic, and you can see Daniel Ricciardo is still right behind me, running out of laps quickly here to try and pull out that gap. I keep hoping that he's going to run out of fuel or run out of tires or something, but just Daniel Ricciardo will not leave me alone.
Okay, the car should have lightened up plenty by now. We're down to around 25% fuel remaining.
So we got the Force India, and he moves very far to the left-hand side of what is to back, and he's just hit the barrier at the inside of the corner. Shut up, Jeff. And then he makes contact with Daniel Ricciardo, and they go spinning sideways at the exit of Tabac. That has definitely taken out both the Force India and Daniel Ricciardo, possibly some other cars affected as well, as they were sideways across the circuit. I don't see any way that cars could have gotten by that wall of Formula One vehicles at the exit of Tabac, and that is very unfortunate for Daniel Ricciardo, but quite fortunate for us, as we're on lap number 64 now.
Closing Maldonado. Watch for a chance to make a move.
And that is not Maldonado right in front of us. That is a Sauber, but directly in front of the Sauber is Maldonado, and we have much fresher tires than him, and a faster car, just faster pace overall, as the Sauber actually lets us through very nicely there. I've got to say that was a very nice let through by that Sauber. It wasn't the best ever, but it's a lot better than the AI typically does as we start lap number 65 here. And once again, remember, ooh, that's a big corner cut. Apologies once again. I'm just not very good at Monaco. Trust me, that's all that is. But we are closing in on Maldonado heavily, but not only do we need to pass him on the streets of Monaco, but we also need to pull a 10-second gap on him. The 10-second gap part, I think, would be quite easy if I could just get by him. But easier said than done here, as once again, really running out of laps here as we're entering the closing stages of this race. Just 13 laps still to complete after this one is completed, and we're following very, very closely to Maldonado, going through Portier, getting a little bit of that inside curb, but not too much. A big moment of wheel spin there, nearly making contact with the barrier. The Sauber, with a much better exit, is coming back at us, but of course he is a lap down. Look at the gap between myself and Maldonado that has formed as a result of that oversteer moment. Very aggressive through the Nouvelle chicane. Yes, I'm aware that Kvyat is out in front. I was right behind him when I slammed my car into the barrier. Maldonado nearly losing the back end of Tabac. Tabac, you could see, just almost kissed the barrier with the rear end, and we almost kissed his rear end as we're coming out of the swimming pool section with so much more speed than Pastor Maldonado, who I believe is on the soft prime tires, the yellow mark prime tires, as we've got DRS. We're very close behind him in the slipstream. We've got an excellent exit out of the final corner. We're going to have a look up the inside at turn 1, braking very late as we can, leaving him room on the outside, but he gets a better exit, and he's able to hold on to that position. Fair play to Pastor Maldonado, defending that second place position for all he's worth, and he's worth a lot, let me tell you, as we go through Massenet and Casino. And I'm attacking once again. Can I get him at the inside of Mirabeau here? I'm braking very late, of course. He's on the outside, but it looks like with the super soft tires and the extra traction, I am able to take that second place position, and I now have a nice Pastor Maldonado-shaped buffer between myself and Daniel Ricciardo. No, Daniel Ricciardo got taken out. That is Sebastian Vettel now, who has caught up right up to the back of us. Maldonado was holding me up for a few laps, and that has allowed Sebastian Vettel to now bring himself into this race and get himself involved in the fight for these podium positions towards the end. And Kvyat still running around in first position. This is a very exciting race. I can honestly tell you, I didn't expect it to go on this long. I really didn't think I would be here on lap number 66. I said if I could make it past the pit stop phases, I would be very happy with myself if I DNF after the pit stops. So I was absolutely prepared to have a DNF. I was prepared to slam into the wall. I was prepared to just, you know, completely lose a wheel and just, you know, have to retire the car. And listen to that. We're gaining on the leader. But unfortunately, Vettel is catching us. He has managed to get by Pastor Maldonado, and with only 10 laps remaining in this race. Oh, and we've had an FPS drop there as we're going through Massenet and Casino, two of the highest speed corners, and look at the game just freezing up. And I had to fiddle around with some things. I edited some stuff out there so that you guys really didn't have to see it. I paused the game and I fiddled with some stuff to get it working again. It seems like it's running okay here on lap number 69. Again, just 10 laps remaining, including this one. 9 laps to go at the end of this lap here. Sebastian Vettel running very close on our gearbox here. We need to try and pull out a 10-second gap on him, but that means I need to be a second a lap faster than him every single lap for the next 9 laps, and in fact a little bit more than that. Once again, very aggressive through the Nouvelle chicane. That is one of those areas where I am able to pull out a little bit on the AI, but unfortunately they gain lots of time through to back there. You can see him closing on me even in the dirty air as we're turning through the corner. Very aggressive once again through the chicane in the swimming pool section as we come to the final few corners of the circuit. Once again, Sebastian Vettel running very, very close behind us. It's just been nothing but Red Bulls in my mirrors pretty much all race long, for at least for the second half of this race, as we got a very nice exit coming out of the final corner, and we are able to defend the position for now. But again, with that time penalty, it's just not enough. It's not enough to stay ahead. I need to be pulling away. I've got plenty of fuel right now, though, so I can push very hard. I believe I'm in rich mix right now, and I'm pushing as hard as I possibly can. At this point, I'd rather slam into the wall at 180 miles an hour than to give up this position. And so I am pushing very, very hard as we head down the hill into Mirabeau. Once again, the corner that I cannot remember. Now the Lowe's hairpin, which was the Lowe's hairpin was one of those places where I was pulling away or gaining massively on the AI, but unfortunately Sebastian Vettel really does seem to have a firm grasp on the tightest corner on the F1 calendar, and he's able to keep up with me pretty well. And then all the way through this tunnel section, he's just staying with me, getting that toe all the way down towards the Nouvelle chicane, braking around 75 meters now with such little fuel on board in the car right now. Very, very little fuel as we approach to back once again, dropping it down into 4th gear, and the game has completely freaked out. My cursor is showing up on the screen, and I've gone out of full screen mode. I'm in windowed mode now, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to see if I can find out what's going on with my F1 2015. I'm going to try and restart Fraps and see if that fixes the issue, see if that fixes the game, and it doesn't. And the game crashed. F1 2015 has stopped responding. That's the message that I got. My whole screen went black, and I was... I mean, gutted doesn't really describe it. Devastated doesn't really describe it. I mean, it's difficult for me to find words to describe it. I'm in 2nd position. I was fighting for the win of that race. It was looking like at least a guaranteed 3rd, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because Maldonado was really dropping away there towards the end of the race. So it was looking like at least a podium. And the only people that were going to beat me were Vettel and Kvyat. And Kvyat's not a championship contender. So really, Vettel was the only person that was going to gain points on me. And after all that, after almost 70 laps of racing, what do I have to show for it? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Zero. So I'm going to restart the race. You know, because I'm a good guy. You know, I'm like, yeah, you know, brush it off. Let's go again. Yeah, I agree. I do have a great chance of taking home the win today. Thanks for that information, Jeff. That's super helpful. So here we are for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix, starting from 7th position, and oh god, my brakes aren't working! Sorry, Nico Rosberg. You're dead. Sorry, Nico. That's my bad. 5-second penalty for causing a collision. 5-second penalty for that collision. I got a 5-second penalty. No, that seems legit, man. Yep. Oh yeah. I hit Hamilton there. Now I believe Kvyat is being held up, and there's Pastor. Hey, Pastor! Remember when you were gonna get a podium almost? Nope, not anymore. Because I'm gonna pin you to this barrier. Really? Did they believe that I was at fault for that collision? Yeah, I guess maybe I was. You got me. We're going to have an extra 5 seconds added to our race time. 5-second penalty for causing a collision. Why? Why? We shouldn't see any rain, but if a storm front doesn't... The only storm front is coming from my tear ducts. My tear ducts are the only storm, Jeff. Why? Why, Jeff? Just tell me why the game crashed. Why? Oh my god. Oh. So I'm slowing down here. And the reason for that is I want to hit these guys again. I want to take out as many of these drivers as I possibly can. So I'm hoping they lap me ASAP. By the way, worth pointing out, I'm in P21. The reason for that? Rosberg was out on the spot. Straight away. Oh, damn it! So there's a McLaren leading the race. I missed him, though. I missed the Williams. Oh, that's Kimi. Sorry, Kimi. And I've gone straight on at the chicane. I'm trying to get the Williams. I got him. I've spun. Oh, and Kimi just takes out my wheel. The whole wheel. Kimi took off my whole wheel. So we'll end this video with some replay stuff. And let me just say this. Season 2 of Pro Season, if that becomes a thing, not doing Monaco. Nope. Not doing Monaco. Tell you something else. I'm going to be saving my races partway through from here on out. Because you could do a mid-session save in this game. So I'm going to do that. I am going to do Canada. I got to say, I was so upset. I was ready to, like, uninstall F1 2015. I was just never going to play this game again. I was going to say, forget the extra 700 subscribers that we've gotten in the past couple of months. I'm done. I'm done. But I'm not. I'm not done. I refuse to let Codemasters beat me like that. I refuse to do it. You know, I was dreading Monaco, and this isn't the result I expected.
Very sweet in that Williams garage right now.
As Bottas gets the win.
To take the race win.
Kudos, Bottas.
Weekend it's been, and one that's been thoroughly enjoyable.
Rosberg DNF.
Drama, you'd be mad
Maldonado with 5-second penalty.
We hope to see you then.
LOL. LOL, Maldonado, 5-second penalty. So yeah, that's it. That's it. I continued on to Canada now. I'm not. I can't do it again. I can't do Monaco again, even with air conditioning. I can't do it. Remember when I was all upset? No, Cortana, what are you doing? Sorry, Cortana's trying to respond to me. Remember when I was all upset about what happened in Malaysia? I was like, oh, I pitted, I got the wrong tires put on, and I said it was soul destroying. Yeah, no, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing in comparison to this. This was soul destroying. I mean, possibly the most upset I've ever been in a racing game ever. I don't think I've ever, because, you know, it's one thing for me to make a mistake and hit the wall. Yeah, I get mad at myself. I'm an idiot. Why did that happen? But for the game to just stop responding on lap 70 of the Monaco Grand Prix, oh gosh, I mean, that's another level. That's another level. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping Canada will happen very soon. I want to get back out there and get a strong result, so I'm going to jump back in. I'm going to do another race. I'm going to race at Canada, and hopefully it'll go a lot better. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. Bye-bye.